None other than Xbox Cloud Gaming is finally here for virtual reality. But even crazier are the leaks of a secret Xbox VR headset. So let's dive right into it. We have waited so long for Xbox to finally come to our Quest headsets. And while none other than Mark Zuckerberg made a huge promise that Game Pass would be coming soon to the Quest 2, most of us were just done waiting for it to finally launch one day. Luckily, there were some workarounds. For example, you could use the Oculus link and connect it directly to your PC to basically create a virtual screen inside your VR headset. All that was left was hooking up an Xbox controller and finally being capable of playing the Game Pass Ultimate Library, so that you can play some awesome games like Gears of War or Halo inside VR. But in the end, these are just secondary options to what Meta has actually promised us. And that is exactly where the secret Xbox VR headset comes in, because this might be the biggest change we see in VR for a very long time. Now, what exactly happened is that the parent company of Xbox, known as Microsoft, leaked some very important documents that showed their interest and plans for upcoming VR products. And although Microsoft has previously already taken some big steps into this market, with, for example, their augmented reality glasses named the HoloLens, as well as their entire lineup of Windows mixed reality VR headsets, it is exactly their big company's gaming division named Xbox that has still not joined this party. Even going so far that over the past years, Xbox leaderships have repeatedly pushed VR back, saying that the tech still doesn't yet have a large enough audience for it. But their top secret documents state otherwise, with them mentioning that they see XR as their future opportunity, even so much that Xbox can leverage it to build its next-gen platform for immersive apps and games. But probably the most important one noted that Microsoft wanted to expand its hardware portfolios to include complete new categories pointing towards VR devices. So this means that Microsoft might have changed its mind about the future of virtual reality. And I can imagine that its competition, like the PlayStation VR 2, is also looking stronger day by day. So now knowing that Xbox is finally taking its steps is a dream come true. But that's not all the big news we got, because you also might have missed some new features for your Quest headsets. This is because Meta doesn't always include all the details when it comes to their new updates. But an important thing that is now unlocked is an expanded avatar customization. And yes, that doesn't only go for the newly included legs. While that is a big change compared to the previously flying torsos, it is now also the overall looks that you can fine-tune in any way you see fit. But its biggest updated feature is the Horizon feed. Now, the default interface tab on your Quest was previously called the Explorer page. This was meant to show you suggested apps, videos, and even in-app destinations, as well as your online followers. But with the new Horizon feed, the company now also added Facebook and Instagram Reels directly when you put on your VR headset. And it will also have a much stronger focus on promoting Horizon Worlds. Of course, if you are actually in one of the countries that supports it in the first place. And that also goes for the Horizon Worlds beta launch that is now available for both your PCs as well as your smartphones. This is actually much cooler than expected, allowing people who can't afford one to also get a taste of how good VR games really are. And secondary, it might even bring in some new VR gamers. But we got even more crazy news about the upcoming Assassin's Creed VR game named Nexus. But before we get into that, a quick word from the company that made this video possible. If you feel like your screen in VR is too blurry, or if you sometimes wish that your graphics look just a bit sharper, then you might want to check out the lenses from the company named VR Wave. Especially if you're also wearing glasses or contacts in real life, because they make lenses for VR headsets like the Quest 2 that you can just click in and directly start using, taking your VR experience quickly to the next level. They even make them for the new and upcoming headsets like the Quest 3 and the PlayStation VR 2. And you can use the code VRelity for a 5% discount on your total purchase. So if you're interested, I'll leave a link for you guys in the description below. And with that said, let's get right back into it. So let's talk about the Assassin's Creed Nexus VR game. This title is absolutely insane. But that comes to show once you know that Ubisoft has worked over 4 years to create this game. And in it, you will time travel as 3 different protagonists from past titles in complete different settings. For example, as Cassandra from Assassin's Creed Odyssey, but also as Ezio from the second installment of the games. And lastly, also as Connor from Assassin's Creed 3. And of course, you will be parkouring between buildings, while also fighting your way through by firing bows and arrows and throwing knives, making it feel even more realistic because it is played in virtual reality. Just make sure that when you jump off a high building, that you don't really fall in real life as well. But we have some other big VR games to talk about, like the title Spaceball that takes sports VR to the absolute next level. Here, you will dive into an arena to play inside either a high-intensity football or basketball game mode. And this competitive multiplayer is all about scoring points and bragging that you are the best one. And while it might look easy at first, like any sports VR game, it is very hard to master. Now the game itself is available on App Lab as well as on Steam. And while they just released some new features like their free Space Pass, they also have some big things coming for the near future, like 2 brand new arenas. So if you enjoy some high competitive basketball to play either against your friends or just against some AI bots, while at the same time completely customizing your character like a cat or a pigeon, then this game is definitely for you. And of course, if you're interested, I'll leave a link for you guys in the description below. And talking about high-intense sport games is none other than the VR title known as Box to the Beat. This is, as the title suggests, a virtual reality boxing game that combines some intense action with some awesome music, where you as the player can experience the thrill of jamming out on your favorite songs immersed in virtual reality, making it kind of an upgraded version of Beat Saber. And if rhythm games are your way to go, then I'm sure that you will fall in love with this one directly as well. Because not only is the music highly addictive, you also burn some huge calories while trying to hike up that high score. And this game is available on most headsets like that of the Quest, as well as Pico and Steam VR. But behind it is a very small but dedicated team of developers that keep on pushing updates and patches to improve the game where possible. And as a cool little Easter egg, the game also has a baby pet dragon, because why not? But more importantly, it supports custom songs straight out of your existing library, even supporting song creations so that you can create your own maps if you wish to do so. And of course, if you're interested, links are in the description. And the biggest VR game we have to talk about is none other than Portal 2, who finally got full VR support. This iconic game is an absolute crazy title to be played on any VR headset. And if you do so, make sure to strap yourself in and hope that you have some strong VR legs. Because motion sickness is something that Portal 2 can even create without you having to play it in VR. But jokes aside, this is all possible thanks to a mod, which is completely free, with the only requirement that you own the original game. But without spoiling the story too much, I think this is a must-play VR game for anyone who hasn't tried it yet. But of course, we even had more crazy VR news. So make sure you click on the video you see on screen right now to make sure you don't miss out.